Hi, my name is Katie Rasmussen, and this video will be demonstrating the biological process of intramembranous ossification. Intramembranous ossification occurs during fetal development and results in the formation of flat bones, specifically those of the skull, the clavicle, and the mandible. Intramembranous ossification occurs inside fibrous connective tissue. In the connective tissue, mesenchymal stem cells come together or aggregate and then begin replicating. After adequate replication, these mesenchymal cells begin differentiating into bone-forming osteoblasts. These newly formed osteoblasts form an uncalcified bone matrix known as osteoid. The osteoid is then calcified by the addition of calcium salts and other minerals, and the enzyme alkaline phosphatase acts as a catalyst through this process. Once osteoblasts are surrounded by calcified bone matrix, they can differentiate further into osteocytes, which are mature bone cells. These osteocytes can be found in hollowed-out living spaces called lacunae. Lacunae, represented here by the black circle, are cells that support the bone in maturity. The process of bone formation is known generally as ossification, and where ossification occurs is known as the ossification center. As the process of intramembranous ossification continues, branches of bone, known as spicules, are formed through the bone's highly vascular network. These spicules will continue to grow, eventually touching one another and growing around blood vessels. The development of bone around blood vessels allows for nutrient and waste exchange during the crucial developmental stage. Intramembranous ossification initially formed spongy bone. However, through the process of bone remodeling, the osteocytes at the edge of spongy bone can arrange themselves into tightly packed bundles called osteon. These newly formed osteon are the foundational building blocks of compact bone, which is being formed on the outside edges of the spongy bone. The layering of compact bone, spongy bone, and compact bone again are the defining characteristics of flat bones. Through a second process of bone remodeling, the inner layer of spongy bone can be removed and replaced with a medullary cavity. Inside this medullary cavity, red or yellow bone marrow can be stored. The periosteum is the outermost layer of connective tissue. The innermost portion of the periosteum is composed of fibrous connective tissue, where more osteoblasts can be produced, allowing the bone to grow in width. This concludes the process of intramembranous ossification.